Today is going to be a busy one. We're going to multiple different CEXs. I'm taking my mother to get a car MOT'd. We need to put our living room back together. We need to go to my partner's parents to get our dog back. It's going to be a long one, and we're taking you along for the ride. So yesterday I dropped off a couple of things into my local CEX to get tested so that I can get them put on a voucher. Today I'm going to take a couple more things because if you remember, I basically stopped collecting Xbox and started replacing stuff with the PlayStation versions. One of the games that I need on PlayStation that I have previously had on Xbox is a game that never comes down in price, and it's Sekiro. So I'm going to trade in my Xbox Sekiro towards a voucher for the PS4 version, which will get me most of the way there. And yesterday I managed to get 38 quid on a voucher, but they also refused one of my PlayStation controllers. But as far as I'm concerned, it's in perfect condition. I reckon if it was just, I don't know, something different or a different CEX, it would have been just fine. I bet you I could probably take it into the same CEX today and it would work. We'll see. So I'm going to try again with that because that's 30 quid on a voucher right there. And then what else? So yeah, these are the 3 games that I need to replace on PlayStation 4. But for now, we'll get them put onto vouchers because especially Sekiro, it's still worth a decent chunk. I want you guys to note the fact that it is currently daytime. How many of these clips are going to pass before it is no longer daytime? Because it happens fast. So I started putting the living room back together last night. I've had the house to myself for the last day because my partner had some sort of Women in STEM recognition awards to go to last night in London or whatever. So I've been alone. So I've managed to put the sofa back. That was forever. Because do you realise this poof thing, like that is so heavy for some reason. Also, it's so much echoey in here than normal. That's so weird. So I managed to put all that back. The TV, that is not something I can move on my own. Not a 77-inch TV. Not when it's that thin and wobbly. And obviously we also don't have the dog at the minute, so need to get the living room back to normal before we can get the dog. Anyway, I've got about 20 minutes until I get my hair cut, so I'm going to head off into town, then head to CEX, then head to my mother's, then head to Cannock, then Cannock CEX, then Cannock whatever MOT centre my mother's going to. It's a thing. Let's go. I cannot be the only one that thinks there's some level of irony in the fact that there was a letter through my front door from Specsavers addressed to the wrong person. No, just me? Okay, right. To town. There's part of me that wants to check my PO box again, but I've spoken to enough people that keep saying they're sending me stuff that theoretically there could be more stuff. And now that I know that if it overflows I need to pay them extra, I'm inclined to check it a little bit more frequently. However, it has only been about 18 hours since my last check. But first, I'm off to get my hair cut. It's been a month. I only get my hair cut once a month. Apparently a lot of people go every other week, but I can't be arsed with that. Haircut achieved. Now we're off to CEX. Part of me wants to check cash converters, but I'm not sure I've got the time today, given the amount of other things that I need to get done, especially with gotta go pick my mum up and all that sort of thing. Into CEX we go, and shout out to the dude with the Adventure Time thing if he sees himself on the video. Right, let's go. Just want to say a shout out to pretty much anyone that's come up to me in recent times saying that they follow me, because being real with you guys, it's been happening for a few years now that people come up to me in public and say hello because of my fitness account on TikTok having nearly 500,000 followers. But now that I'm in like the gaming niche and my gaming accounts have got a few 100,000 followers on TikTok and things like that, it's happening a lot more. And it's interesting because it's generally a different kind of audience versus the fitness stuff. The fitness stuff is generally like 18 to 25-year-olds. But because of my niche for nostalgic style gaming being generally older, now I'm getting older dudes too. It's kind of making it... me and my partner play a little game where we can tell when somebody's recognized me without them saying anything because of how many double takes they often do. And it's a lot harder now because of the average age of somebody that spots me generally being older. But if you've ever come over to me, and it's been happening a decent amount recently... Thank you. It even, fun fact, when we went to IKEA, it happened 3 times while we were in there. It happened twice when we were at the buffet in Telford, and then once today while we were in this CEX on the way in. It's a weird one. I'll never forget when it first started happening. It felt so surreal. I remember once we were in Rome on holiday, and an Italian dude just ran over saying that he watches my fitness stuff. I was like, this is crazy that it's so far spread. But when you tally up my follow accounts now across my platforms, it's over 1 million people, so I guess it is not unlikely that people will spot you. It's kind of cool. I think it's always very surreal. I always try and give people as much time as they need or want as well. one of the YouTubers that I watched when I was a kid once said that for him, it's like an all the time thing that people come up to him and say hello. But for the person that's individually meeting them for the only time they possibly ever will, it isn't like that. So you've always got to try and give somebody the best possible time that they can, because for them, it might only ever happen once, you know? Okay, just finished off in CEX. The good news is I managed to trade everything in, including the controller they wouldn't take yesterday. So now I've got about 170 quid or so on a voucher, which is a win. Now back to the car. I might check the peer box on the way. It is on the way. Again, it's unlikely there's going to be anything in the last... Well, something would have had to have been delivered today, so I doubt it. But have a look. And then I'm off to Cannock to get my mother from her MOT. And there may actually be some stuff to buy in Cannock, being as I've not been to Cannock in forever. Who knows? At this point, I've been into Stafford CEX about 6 times in a row, most days of the last week, so I'm not surprised there was... This is the first time I've actually left a CEX in forever with more or less stuff than I walked in with, and more money. That almost never happens. But success. At least they managed to take the controller off me this time. Win. Okay, I checked my my PO box shop. I walked in and she went... I turned around. Nothing. I knew I didn't think there would be. Like I said, there would have had to have been something delivered right now. Right, let's go rescue my mother from Cannock. I'm really hoping the motorway is not down, because the motorway was down yesterday. And I hate going to Cannock any other way than the motorway, because it takes me down some silly roads that I do not like going down. But yeah, my mum's got a thing where she gets very set in her ways about things. She'll only go to this one hairdresser's that's in Willenhall. Bearing in mind, she lives in Stafford. She'll only go to this one butcher's in Walsall. Bearing in mind, she doesn't live in Walsall. And she'll only get her car MOT'd in Cannock. I don't feel like any of these places are good places to get the things done that she's getting done, but whatever. She's very stuck in her ways and she will not change. You'll get to know her over time. She'll be in the car with me in a bit. She might be coming to CEX with me. I'm not sure. It depends if she can walk that far, because she doesn't do much walking. It's not her thing. Like, genuinely, yeah. Right, let's go. Okay, I'm here. The question is, did I beat my mother? My mother will not go on the motorway anymore. She doesn't trust her car, which, you know, taking it for an MOT in Cannock, it doesn't bode well, does it? This is always such an annoying road to park on. But where is the woman? I am genuinely surprised that it is still light. I feel like this time yesterday in Stafford, it was dark. I need to get the next TikTok started before it gets dark if I want it to get views. That's sort of the rule. Brilliant. I beat her here. There she is, in a C1. I don't know how I beat her here. I know that I took the motorway and she didn't, but she still left like 20 minutes before I did, and we live in the same bloody town. Here she comes. Did you get lost on the way?
Pardon?
I said, did you get lost on the way?
I can't hear you.
Did you get lost on the way?
Traffic? Yeah. Shocking.
Yeah, I know. Did you not? What are you doing? Why can't you get in the car?
Huh?
You look like you're struggling to get in the car.
Just because I walked all down there.
Yeah, you got more walking to do yet.
Oh, look where the pissing door is.
Yeah, the door is open. Right. Right, let's go. It's been a while.
Hey?
I've not been to this CEX in weeks. I've been to Stafford CEX about 7 times in a row, but I've not had reason to come here. I'll probably come again tomorrow after I've dropped you off, because you never know. Maybe they'll get new stuff.
When's news back?
Tonight, and then
fetching the dog tonight or tomorrow.
Today, I think. I think we're gonna. What did you just say about this police station?
We spent the night in the cells in there.
Why'd you spend the night in the cells?
Me and your eldest sister.
What did she do?
We hit somebody.
Why did she hit somebody?
Because the girl who were in kept it in Cayle. And I warned her first.
Alright.
Told her, if you do it again, I'll have you. And I did.
Right then.
God.
We are here. Let's go in, shall we? I tell you, it was very funny being in here with my mother, because she comes out with some crazy stuff. Some of the stuff my mother says, I can't even put in the video. That steelbook for Naruto, by the way, very cool. But this was a pretty well-equipped CEX today. There was a lot of stuff that I was wanting. A lot of stuff that I would like to have, but probably I'm not going to pay for, like that Naruto. But yeah, as you've heard, me and my mother, we do not sound very similar at all. She's from more the Black Country way, whereas, well, so am I technically. The accent sort of skipped me. It's because at the end of the day I raised myself and I didn't leave me room very much. Anyone that's like seen my dad's stories knows all about that sort of thing. But yeah, I don't sound like her. My whole family does. I just don't. She was always astounded by the prices of things in here. She can't believe that some like PS2 games are so expensive, and she also can't believe how cheap some other games were that she remembered buying me when I was a kid, like Assassin's Creed and things like that. She was pointing at Assassin's Creed, being like, "It's only £1. It's only £1." I'm like, "Yeah, because it's 20 years old and there's hundreds of them." But look how many rare PS2 games are in here, by the way. Like some of these PS2 games that are in here took me ages to find at one point. I do feel like I had a bit of a... I didn't look as well as I could have today while I was with my mother, because I was... Well, you can hear her. She's about to keel over at any given point, so I needed to get a move on. I'm going to go back tomorrow when I drop her off. I'll drop her off to pick up a car, presuming she passes, and then I will go in to the CEX on my own again. If you can't tell by the way, these CEX segments, I always voice them over in post because the copyrighted music is a big no-go. Absolutely not. The videos will not do well with copyrighted music. But yeah, there was some very cool stuff in here, and some stuff that I got that ended up having to go back, sadly, or will have to go back. You'll see. We'll discuss that later in the haul section of the video. But we are on the way to completing a few more box sets. My mother really couldn't get her head around the prices of things or the way that things are laid out. She doesn't get out much, ever, really. This is probably the second time in her life she's been in a CEX, fun fact, or anywhere outside of a doctor's office in a while. That's probably the most I've bought in ages.
This?
Yeah, the last few times I've been getting things, it's just been a handful of DVDs at a time for a few quid. But at least I've still got like 120 quid on that voucher. So it was all technically free, just through selling my old stuff.
Yeah, stuff that you never gonna use.
Yeah. Like
this place is changed.
Like one of the things I sold was an older version of this, the camera that I'm using, that used to hold my phone instead. Okay, now it's dark.
Huh?
Time to fill my car up, and then take you home, and then me get home, and I need to eat a lot of food.
Yeah, I ain't had nothing to do.
I am miles behind my calories today. Right, what do you think of the decorated room then? Can you tell a difference?
No.
I told you wouldn't.
I suppose you got holes somewhere in here, haven't you?
Behind your head here,
Yeah.
and behind there. He filled them. There was holes in the wall there from people before us.
It's like a mushroomy colour, isn't it?
I have no idea.
Yeah.
It looks about the same
You
as it
ain't
did.
bring that picture back up, have you?
Yeah.
Don't look at that. It was Dad's, that was, you know.
Yes, I know it was. That's why we've got it. I put the sofa back together. Do you know how heavy that is?
I can imagine, because I have to move mine.
Yeah.
And mine's heavy.
And then I did try and move the TV, but I conceded defeat on that one. I'll just wait for Neve.
Yeah.
It's not worth trying it.
No, I can tell it's been done.
I've just dropped my mother off home, and I don't know why I don't know if it's showing like that. It's like flickering. It's got to be something to do with the refresh rate of the screen. It's not doing that in real life. It's only doing that on camera. Anyway, it's 7 p.m. I don't know what time I left the house. I think it was like 2. I've been out of the house for 5 hours. I don't know how that's happened. What have we done in 5 hours? I got my hair cut. I went to Stafford CEX. I went to Cannock. Took my mum for an MOT. Went to Cannock CEX. Brought my mum here. And then took her home. In 5 hours. Christ. Anyway, I'm going to have dinner now because it's late and I really need to get some food in me. Otherwise I'm going to wake up skinny. And then I'll show you guys what I got. I lied, I'm not done. I can't show you. We've got to go and get the dog. So we've just put the living room back to normal. We've had dinner, we've put the living room back to normal. Everything's back in there. The house is Ruby ready. We're going to go... Copyright! That could have been a catastrophe. Yeah, let's get the dog. It's nearly 9 p.m. and I've still got to go to the gym. Let's go. I'm not driving now. I've done enough driving today. Hello, Ruby. Hello.
The noises were...
Hello.
That's the thing, she wasn't shrinking.
Hello.
But I knew that she was...
You miss me?
Under the, yeah, because the noises were like...
It's now nearly midnight. I've just got home from the gym. Let's do the haul, shall we? I've got quite a bit of stuff to show you guys, quite a lot of cool stuff and a bit of a problem, but we'll go through the problem and solve the problem tomorrow. So problem, well, we'll get to that at the end. So the first thing I got is Marvel Phase 1. So this is all the films up to Avengers 1 on Blu-ray in a collector's edition, which is pretty cool. And then we got Marvel's Phase 3 Part 1. So I think that this is... I'm not really sure. Everything up to Ragnarok, something like that. Also on Blu-ray. These are really cheap. From brand new, they're like 30 quid a piece, and there's 4 of them in total. There's Phase 1, Phase 2, and then Phase 3 is split into 2 parts. Next up, we actually have some games today. So we've got Sekiro Shadows Die Twice. Annoyingly, like I said, I traded in my Xbox version of this for a £20 voucher to go towards the £40 version for PlayStation 4. This is the cost of replacing things for a different system, I do suppose. Next up, we got Fallout 76. I don't know when I'll play it. I don't presume it to be very good. I remember the reviews when it came out. I know that it's supposed to be an online thing. I don't care for the online stuff. But I do love Fallout, so maybe at some point I'll give it a go, and it doesn't exactly cost very much, so who cares, I do suppose. Following on from that, we've got Bloodborne. I was tempted by the Game of the Year edition that comes with the DLC, but I am pretty sure that I already own... Well, first of all, I already own Bloodborne for sure digitally. It's just a case of I needed to get it physically because, well, physical collecting and all that. And again, I was tempted by the Game of the Year edition, but I'm pretty sure that I also already own the DLC for this. So that would have been also a bit of a waste of money, and it was another tenner for that version. One of the best games on the system, by the way. Shame about the fact we're probably never getting a remake or a remaster. Next up, Darksiders Genesis. From what I am aware of, this is a very, very different game than Darksiders 1 through 3. But it is the 4th Darksiders game, and I already had the other 3, so I kind of needed to get it at some point, you know. Next up is the first PS2 game I got in a while. So this was one of the ones that went missing when I moved house. I remember playing it a lot as a kid, and I can't believe that the movie that this is based on, the Johnny Depp Charlie and the Chocolate Factory film, is 20 in a few months, which is an insane thought. But, yeah, for £2. Then we've got some more DVDs. So we've got X-Men Days of Future Past and X-Men Dark Phoenix. And I hope that I didn't make a mistake with those two. Let me just go and double check. Over here we go. So, I thought I'd made a mistake there. I haven't. It's okay. So I've been in the process of replacing them. So we've got Days of Future Past and Dark Phoenix replaced. I still need Logan. And then I think I do have more than what I've got in front of me right now. I've also already got Wolverine and X-Men 3. So I need X-Men 1, I need X-Men 2, I need X-Men Origins Wolverine, and I need Logan, and then I've got all of them on Blu-ray. That's a win. Now then, the problem that I mentioned. So, when my partner got home and saw all the things that I brought, she was like, oh no. Because apparently, she had already bought me all 4 box sets of these from somewhere else for Christmas. And obviously that's next month. And that's obviously a problem because I've bought them today. So these are going to have to go back because she can't return the ones she's gotten, apparently, from wherever she's bought them from. And she paid significantly more than I did, which is a bit of a shame. But, yeah. I suppose it's the thought that counts in terms of me buying them. It's a shame because it would have been fun to collect them. But it's great because it means that I haven't had to pay for them, which is also nice. But it does also mean that I already know what I'm getting for Christmas and I've ruined it. This is a bit of a problem with collectors, is you can't really buy for people like me because anything that I want, I will just go and buy for myself. Ah, dear. So I guess when I head back to Cannock tomorrow, these can go back to Cannock. I'll get the 18 quid put back on a voucher, and I'll have at least 130 quid for a voucher, which is pretty cool. Maybe I'll try and take a few trips to different CEXs that I've maybe not been to as frequently or as often. It's interesting. Why does that look bigger? Oh, that's actually kind of annoying. This is a much bigger box than that. Even though they're the same collectors. You'd think that this was the DVD version, not the Blu-ray version, but it is the Blu-ray version. Yeah, Blu-ray disc. That's weird. That's going to look annoying on the shelf. Huh. Anyway, it has been a long, long day. Like I said, it's nearly midnight. This video began at 2. I'm off. I need to go finish Resident Evil 3 Remake. Bye-bye.